for reading today. We are talking about inferring character traits once more, last time today, for this week anyway. Maybe later in the year we'll come back to it. You're going to need your markers, your scissor, your glue stick, your pencil, and your big language arts notebook. I just realized I didn't have that on there. So we're going to need those things, and we're going to get started. So pause the video if you need more time. All right, hello. Let's flip to this camera. There we go. All right, so what we are going to do, it's a little blurry. Come on. There it goes. All right, is we have our paper, we have our notebook, and I got my other supplies around. What we're going to want to do is cut all the way around this guy first. So we're going to want to cut all of it out. Alright, not cutting inside it, I'm cutting around as one big rectangle. Two more to go. And alright, so now I have my nice big piece, and if you need more time, you can always pause the video. Now, what I'm going to do is cut these dotted lines to make little flaps like we did last time. We did our notebook entry, made like little windows. I'm going to cut it just to that next black line. Now I've got 4 little flaps. What I'm going to do is fold each window in. Fold as close as I can to that black line. To make like 4 little windows now. Awesome. Alright, so now I got my notebook on my page, and across the top, and actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue it first. I'm going to flip it over, so I don't want the flappy side, I want the other side. And do is give it a box around and go down and across, making an X. Then I'm quickly gonna flip it, and I'm gonna glue it kind of in the middle bottomish, so I still have room to write above. I'm just gonna push and give it a gentle rub around the edges, being careful so I don't get a paper cut. All right, now I am ready to start writing. I'm going to pick a marker color. Go ahead and pick a marker color. Do purple. That's purple, yeah. It looked blue on the camera for a second, but it's purple. And across the top, I'm going to write nice and big up here. Not too big that it takes up too much room. Character traits. And then down below, I'm going to finish writing a little smaller because it's a little longer. Can be inferred by analyzing. Remember that analyzing word means like to look at closely. Look at closely. We can infer character traits by looking closely. Now we need a different color. I'm going to get blue. I'm going to get pink. I'm going to get green and orange. And what I'm going to do is picking my first one. I'm going to do green first. All right, across this first flap, we're going to write feelings. F-E-E-L-I-N-G-S. I'm going to put my green marker away now, or at least to the side. And I'm going to do orange next. And on the next one I can talk about their actions. Whoa, excuse me. Actions. And I'm going to go blue next. Can also analyze by their thoughts, what they're thinking. And the last one we're going to do is their dialogue. We can go by their dialogue. So now we're going to think about Charlotte's Web. And beneath each little window, we're going to write any evidence that the author gives us that helps us determine a character's trait based off their feelings, their actions, their thoughts, or the dialogue. So I'm going to pause while I get my Charlotte's Web book because I didn't realize I needed that. So I'm going to come right back. All right, so I got my book. Let's look back at our notebook page. All right, so we have our 4 different ways that we can really infer. We analyze the character's feelings, actions, thoughts, or dialogues. So let's think about our 2 main characters so far. We've really only just met Charlotte. So let's think about Fern and Wilbur. Okay, so let's start with our feelings one. Let's open up that window. Okay, we're going to write on both sides of here. Okay, and if this one needs to move a little bit like this, so you can write for a second. That's okay. Well, let's start with page 22. Find page 22 in your book for me. This page, we learn a lot about Wilbur's feelings, right? When they are going, when he escaped from Zuckerman's barn and he's running all over. But something really shows his feelings here. Wilbur was crying. He was a big cry baby, right? He was crying all during that part of the scene, right? And everyone's telling him which way to go, and he started crying. Let's make an inference. I infer Wilbur is... Well, I know he's crying, but I'm thinking back. Was he crying necessarily because he was sad? He was really, confused, wasn't he? Sometimes when we cry when we're confused and sad, all of that, we can say we're really emotional. Remember we talked about him crying at the drop of a hat. He could cry at any time. He's really emotional. And I know there's more feelings, but we're going to move on. Let's go into actions. Let's open our action window. Remember, if you need more room to write over here, go ahead. I can write pretty small, so I'm just going to try and fit it in this one. Let's look at page 10 this time. Page 10. There's an action going on with Fern here. Fern is walking Wilbur in the baby carriage. Okay, we're thinking about that, but we're going to analyze her actions there when she's walking the baby in the carriage. I infer Fern is... I think she's really caring. That's a word that describes her actions. She's really caring. She's taking her time to walk Wilbur in the baby carriage. She really wants him to rest. She's really taking care of him. All right, and let's do thoughts next. Remember, if you need to rewind or pause for more time to write, go ahead and do that. This time, let's take a look at page 16. Page 16. Let's find the part where it talks about when Wilbur didn't feel like going to sleep, digging. He didn't feel like standing or laying down. Now I'm going to make an inference about this. I infer Wilbur is, well, let's see, he doesn't want to sleep, doesn't want to dig, he doesn't want to stand, he doesn't want to lay down. He's kind of, what do you call it when you don't know what you want to do? Yeah, bored. He's getting bored. A really fancy word that we could say instead of bored too is listless. Listless. So you don't know what you want to do. You're like, nothing sounds good. You ever felt listless? All right. And our last one, our dialogue. This time we're going to go back to Fern. We're going to go back to the very beginning of our book. Because on page 3, Fern says, this is the most terrible case of injustice I ever heard of, period, and my last quotation marks. Let's start our inference about Fern. I infer Fern is, she doesn't want that injustice, right? So she's really showing that she's caring about other people. But we already said caring because of her actions, didn't we? So let's pick a different word. Let's think through. What can we say for somebody who really has a lot of feelings for other people? We kind of talked about this yesterday with one of our 6 character traits that we did. They are, what could we say? They are either sensitive or, I don't know if you've heard it, compassionate. When you really care about other people and you have a lot of strong emotions to go with it, compassionate really shows Fern. Oops, sorry, I slipped my box. Because she is thinking about all that injustice and she's like, this is just wrong. This isn't how it should be. This is wrong. All right. And that's the end of our Inferring Character Traits notebook. Make sure you mark us down when you've finished. Nice job. We'll see you later.